Time to move on to the biggest, draw of the night. Does Mr. Girl beat the fuck out of his girlfriend? No, that's not the allegation at all, man. But is Mr. Girl abusive? Now, I'm confused as to why this video is even uploaded, man. It seems as if he was performing he if you didn't know Mr. Girl, he's a provocateur. He I don't even know if actually I don't even know if he's a provocateur. He's just a really weird guy. He's the guy who posted the cuties review, and he has some pretty interesting ideas about pedophiles and their acceptance in society. So I don't know if you want to go down the rabbit hole, feel free, man. But like this, just know this guy's a bit of a weirdo, and basically he did a sex doll review, and I think he was attempting to interview his girlfriend for it, right? But this is all that came of it, and it's really weird. It, people were alleging abuse, and I don't know, man. It's really weird. I really can't say for sure. Here, we'll turn this shit to 2 times. This is the sex doll in question, by the way, in the background here.
Yeah.
I don't like makeup.
I know.
Why do you do this?
I don't like how sad I look all the time.
You're gonna get nice and perky for the video?
Mm-hmm.
You think that's what people don't like about you in my videos? That you're just too sad?
See, I don't understand why he's doing this. Like, I understand that some guys don't like makeup, but that's fine, man. But like, if she's wearing out in public, she wants to just feel herself and look good. Like, guys, I'm not a fucking some libtard, right? But like, come on, cut her a bit of slack, bro. She's appearing on a video that thousands of people are gonna see on your shit ass channel. Why don't you at least just let her do what she wants and don't give her any pushback, you know?
You know that's why people criticize me, because you're so sad that they feel like...
I think it's part of it. And I think, especially people who knew me before I met you, I think I wore a lot of makeup to hide that.
That's why they think that you're sad. Because of me.
Right.
I think Mr. Girl needs to fucking take a chapter out of her book or some shit like that, man. Because like nobody wants to look at your fucking ugly ass body while you're fucking doing this, man.
They don't understand how happy I make you.
Right. They don't understand me. No one fucking understands me.
Okay, so you've been pretty upset with me for the last few days. Because I said that you were my sex doll.
Right.
You want to tell people what happened?
Well, I think what happened was that you leapt into bed with me, gave me a little cuddle, and then said, you're my real sex doll.
See, now this seems like something like dumb that he would say, on a whim, sort of, like it's just something stupid he would say, like as like to maybe even a joke. Like obviously, hearing this, I would think it's a joke, right? But like, I guess I'll just let it play. But he sort of goes on to explain that it wasn't really a joke, like which is weird to me.
And I was like, no. And you were like, yes, you are. And I was like, well, no, I don't like that you're saying that. It's freaking me out. I think that you may have done this in response to me saying I was a little bit like anxious and needed some reassurance about the sex doll. Is that true? Or was I just thinking that?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I think I was thinking that. I may have said it.
No, I don't remember.
I don't like that though, because I think, although yes, because we're in a monogamous relationship, technically I am the only possible real sex doll. The implication is that I don't get to have any boundaries or set any limits, which
No, it is.
makes me freak out. What?
It's not that you don't get to have any limits. It's that there's a limit to your limits.
Well, yeah, come here, bud.
You have to have sex with me.
Now I understand what he's saying, right? Like in a relationship, one of his requirements was that his partner has to have intercourse with him, right? Like, and that makes sense. Like that's a pretty normal boundary to have, like with your partner, right? The weird part is like, why are you vocalizing this to your partner? Like they should want to have. It should be a mutual agreement whenever you guys both feel like it, Like, you shouldn't have to, like, vocalize this unless, like, unless one of you isn't performing as the other one wants you to. At which point, either you need to figure out why, if it's some sort of like health reason, and maybe see a doctor, or break up because maybe you guys just aren't sexually compatible.
Eventually.
Well, I think so, but is that true? You would just break up with me if I said we couldn't have sex anymore?
I thought I would just break up with you. I just think our relationship would either change to a platonic relationship, in which case it would no longer be our relationship, or it would fall apart somehow. But one way or the other, in order to keep our relationship,
Oh, sex is a sin.
So they would break up, is what he's saying. He's just using a bunch of fucking word vomit to be an asshole.
in order to keep our relationship as a romantic relationship, you have to have sex with me. Because eventually, if I'm not allowed to have sex with anybody else, you can't just make me never have sex.
Right.
So you have to have sex with me. So you can have boundaries to a point. You can say no a certain number of times.
And see, like, that's a perfectly fine point to make, but why are you vocalizing this? You could just, that's just sort of something unwritten in every single relationship, right? Like, oh, yeah, it's just, he's so fucking weird, man.
Yeah, but
You have to get me off.
yeah, and that's fine. But
No, you have to.
I know.
Okay.
But I just think that the implication of it is scary.
What's that?
Just well, sex dolls get raped. They don't have any choice. They have no autonomy.
What
They
I'm
just
saying
lie
is
there.
that- okay, I prefer it when you just lie there. And I think what I've discovered through the sex doll thing, I thought I thought this was great. Because I know you get upset when I tell you to just lie there.
Sort of. Yes and no.
No, you get upset when I say just lie face down and don't move. You get upset. What
Sort of. Yes. Yes and no.
do you mean yes and no?
I mean, it's upsetting on the one hand. On the
Okay,
other
I'm
hand,
talking about the hand that it's upsetting on.
okay.
Okay. Can I just talk without you trying to control what I'm saying?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, see, he's such an asshole, man. And I don't understand it because if you're not familiar with Circle at all, he preaches a lot of empathy towards people. He preaches empathy towards the worst people in society. Like pedophiles, rapists. He extends empathy towards these people and says, hey, maybe this is something they can't control, and maybe this is something that we just need to, be a bit more accepting of to, sort of. And maybe once we are more accepting, they'd be more comfortable coming out, and we could save more children, right? That's essentially, that's like a very small portion of his argument, and I completely disagree, of course, but it's still like that's completely hypocritical for him to be so like dismissing and fucking rude towards somebody he loves, supposedly his girlfriend, when that's one of his main. That's like is what he's known for, is being empathetic towards some of the worst people in society.
Can you not say go ahead? Can you just shut up and just let me talk? Even that is just annoying. I would just like to speak, and then when I'm done, then you can speak. Okay, go ahead. Okay. I thought, well, since you get upset when I tell you to just lie there and not move, and the doll's going to do that anyway, it would be interesting to see what it's like for me to just fuck the doll, because the doll always does what I want it to do. And because I don't like it when you move when we're having sex. I don't like it, the part that's for me. Like if I'm like, I just want what I want to fuck you. I'm not picturing you being like, oh yeah, me. I just want you to not move, and I want you to lie there face down and be quiet and be still.
See, no, that's fine. That's fine if that's a want of yours. And so you need to search for a partner who also wants that, right? Like, if she want what she wants, it also has to be considered in a sexual relation, right? Like, if she wants to move and that's what she likes, then she needs to find a partner who likes it when she moves. If you don't like it when she moves, then you need to find a partner who also just doesn't like to move. Like it's very simple, but I don't know why you're trying to like force her to do what you want to do. It's very strange. Just find someone else who does want to do that. Like it's not. I don't know. I was gonna say it's not that hard, but it probably is hard because this is a fucking weird ass fetish.
So I was thinking maybe the doll will make you jealous, and then you'll want to do that more, or maybe it'll be an outlet for me. I think what I've realized with my sickening sexual experiences with the doll is that it doesn't really mean anything if the doll's lying still. It's not letting me have my way with it. It's not letting me. It's not doing anything for me. When we've talked about this before. I know it's for me when you are just not doing anything. And you're not moaning. You're not like, oh. I know it's for me when you're not making it about yourself. You have a tendency to make lots of things about yourself. I have a tendency to be very sensitive. If someone's 89% for me, but 11% for you, I feel like it's just for you because you have a way of work. You fit 90% into that 11%. You have a way of really making that undermine the rest of it. And then when it's not for you, you get upset, and then I know it's for me. And so I realized the doll. You said the doll's gonna cuck you, but the doll's cucking me.
Yeah, dude. He literally just said he likes it when she's upset. Like that's a really bad look, huh? I don't fucking understand this shit. Like, you just admitted you like it when she's upset. You like, and she isn't enjoying it. Like, like you need to find someone who has like a kink that's a tone that fits yours, right? Like you need to find someone who also doesn't like to enjoy it, but that makes them enjoy it. Like you know what I mean? Like a degradation or whatever the fuck that's called. Sorry guys, I'm not the degen expert. You're gonna have to go talk to Flamenco.
I'm taking that slave owner part of me, and I'm just taking it out on the doll, leaving you in the clear. I want an agreement where you will regularly lie still for me.
I see. It's an act of service.
I don't give a fuck what you call it. The more you talk, the more you ruin it. Because you're going to say, oh, I like doing active. It's his love language. Okay, well, I can see how. Blah, blah, blah. Just shut the fuck up. I just want you to shut up and lie still. I don't want you to talk about it. I don't want to hear the mental gymnastics that you go through to try to absorb it into your nexus of manipulation. I just want you to lie down, face down, and be very still and very quiet until I'm done. And I want you to do this on a regular basis.
What does that mean?
Once every 2 weeks.
See, now by setting a time frame, he prefaced this by saying, you need to have sex with me to stay in this relationship. And now what he's saying is, like, it's almost like it's a requirement that you do it within these time periods, you know? If he really wanted to do this every 2 weeks, then he should ask at least once every 2 weeks. And, you know, maybe she's not feeling it that day. So, you know, you just ask like 2 days later. You know, it's not that hard of a concept, but you don't, if you outline this, then it's showing that showing that you're pressuring her into doing something she may not want to do, which is kind of like, it's not really rapey, but it's still very, like, it's gross, and I think you should stop.
To start.
Well, that doesn't seem that bad.
Okay, once a week.
Well, that seems bad.
Good. Let's do that. Once every 2 weeks.
Well, you just said.
I was joking about increasing the frequency because you said it didn't seem that bad. See, I don't.
He's such a fucking dick, man. I don't understand. He's so nice to, like, I've watched a bit of Mr. Gore content before just because I was curious about him, but like, and he seems like a pretty reasonable guy and everything else I've watched. Like in this, he's so insufferable, man. It's crazy.
I don't want to be thinking about your needs all the time.
I see.
Like,
You don't want to care if it's that bad.
That's your job.
Right.
If you're like, oh, I don't want to get fucked in the ass, but you can do it every.
Scare the cat.
Oh no! If you're like, oh, I don't want to get fucked in the ass, but you can do it every day. You can do it every day, but I don't want to. That's not my problem. I want fucking to be a lot more like jacking off. Sometimes.
Well, I know.
Okay, so once every 2 weeks.
I don't know. I want to think about this.
That's already more often than we have sex.
Yes, that's why I need to think about it.
Well, what can you do now? What can you commit to? I need to
Well,
think.
it's for sure once a month, I would say.
Starting when?
And now? I don't know.
Right now?
Have we technically had our thing for April yet? We have to fit it in
Right
another
now?
day. Huh?
Right now?
Well, sure. The question is, what months are we going by? The calendar month? Well, it's kind of important.
Not really, because it's April 29th, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, see, like, she's just trying to get, like, clarity on what she's agreeing to. And, like, you know, maybe it's semantics. Like, it doesn't really matter that much whether they start now or next month, right? But, like, still, she's just asking very simple questions, and he's being, like, totally, like, just an asshole about it, you know? Like,
Well, it does matter.
Jalen, do you see how controlling you are?
No, it's fucking knowing what you're agreeing to.
she's right here. He's just being a fucking asshole and emotional.
If I'm supposed to agree to once a month, and or we need to fit one in real quick in the next day and a half, I think I should know that. You don't think so? Do you like not get what I'm saying, or am I not getting what you're saying? I don't understand
I
what's
get
going
what
on.
you're saying.
So then why are you not responding?
Because it feels like you're being controlling, and it's upsetting.
Well, I suppose so. Well, we can just wait to start until next month then.
Okay.
Great.
Feels like you're being controlling. You're ruining it.
Well, just
She's literally being the opposite of controlling by asking you, like, what, like, she's accepting what you're saying, but just wants you to be more clear about it. Like, it's not that fucking hard, you dipshit.
well, this is the thing, is I'm not an actual sex doll.
Would you have agreed to doing it tonight and next month?
Probably not tonight, maybe tomorrow.
Okay, so what does it matter which way we choose? What does it matter how we count it?
Well, I have to know what it is.
Why?
Well, you can't just spring stuff like that on me. Maybe you want to, but it's
No,
not
I
how
didn't
it
say I
works.
want to be able to do it whenever I say. We said once a month. That means I can't just do it whenever I say.
No, but it does, though, because, you know, you're gonna ask about the month, and maybe she's just not feeling it, and then at the very end of the month, you're gonna be like, oh, you know, it's time, and then she can't say no in that scenario, which is like, it's so fucking weird, man. Like, why? If you really need to have sex once a month, then just ask her about it once a month, and then, you know, maybe at the end of the month you didn't get any, just ask like, hey, what's wrong? Why don't you want to do it? Maybe just communicate, not in this weird, like philosophical way. Just like talk like real people.
But you see, you're changing what we're agreeing to be something that you will fight and complain about, and now you're saying no to something I didn't ask.
Well, I think that in making an agreement.
I don't care. I don't care what you think. I want you to stop. I just want you to stop.
Well, I don't think we can make an agreement.
Why? You will agree to.
I don't like opinion not considered, woman. Dude, Mr. Girl is so based. What the hell?
Every version of the agreement. So all it's turning into, it's like if you're like, hey, shut up. It's like if you're like, hey, do you want to get pizza? And I'm like, well, which hand are you going to take the pizza out of the box with? This whole conversation is just all about whether or not we are going to have sex tomorrow.
No, that's not true though, because if you take pizza out of the hand, like that, taking pizza out of a box doesn't fucking matter which hand you do it with. However, having sex obviously does matter to this person, so that's why she's asking about it.
Yes.
Okay. And so what you are turning this into by not just saying like, yes, let's start on May 1st. Do you see how that would be actually you asserting what you want and asserting?
Yeah, wouldn't asserting be more controlling in this instance? Like that, you're making no sense. Like one moment you're claiming she's too controlling, and the next moment you're claiming that she needs to be more asserting. Like, dude, you can't be this fucking dumb, man.
Your version of it, but also would not make the entire conversation about you and your discomfort and your fucking complaining. Or you could have said, well, April's running out, so if we're doing this in April, that means once tomorrow and then once next month. But you're not saying that either. You're pretending that you're like waffling or something, or that you're really concerned, and so you're like, well, I have a question. I really need to know this, Max. Which you do every fucking time there's anything that I'm in charge of. Every time we're filming something, you're like, hey, do you want me? Should I wear this shirt? And I'm like, I don't fucking care what shirt you wear. Please shut up and just sit in the chair. And you're like, fine. It's a control grab. It's a power grab.
It's not though. She's just asking you, and you're being like, you're claiming it's controlling because you don't want to admit that you're just fucking annoyed and you want her to shut up. Like, because okay, I know she's like 27 or some shit, and you're a bit older. You're annoyed that you're dating a younger person, and she has a younger mind, and she's fucking, and she's a bit more. She's just younger and a bit more naive, so she asks like dumb questions that you don't want to deal with, and you're mad about it. Like like before, you fucking made your own bed, now you're laying in it by having to deal with an annoying kid that you fucking are dating. Break up with her. It's not that fucking hard.
Come here, buddy. Okay, well, let's start on May 1st then. And we will just do it by month.
Okay, so from May 1st. Okay, do you see what I'm saying about you being
I do.
controlling?
Yes, I do.
Now, you see what I'm saying, or do you agree that that's happening?
I see what you're saying.
You don't think that's happening?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's fucking weird.
I think you can frame it as controlling. I don't agree with that
Do
characterization.
you agree with the decision to frame you as controlling?
Well, I'm getting a bit frustrated because it feels like you have misled me a bit here. You agreed. You told me that we were having an interview about the sex doll.
Yeah.
And you're like asking me to agree to a sex schedule, which we kind of already rejected and tried once.
Okay.
And I don't know. It just feels like I'm open to trying that again, but like you're gonna put this in a video, and I feel uncomfortable because I'm already in a very uncomfortable position of like not wanting people to fucking say our relationship is abusive. But you're like berating me about asking you a question about you asking me to agree to sex on a regular basis and be a sex doll.
No, I'm not berating about asking me a question.
I asked you a question. You're saying that I'm being too controlling. So it seems like
Do you think that you can be too controlling by asking questions?
I do, but you.
Okay, so the fact that they had a question mark at the end doesn't really determine whether it's controlling or not. Are we doing it monthly? Are we doing calendar monthly? Or every 30 days? That's not designed to actually get information out of me. It's just designed to put me in a new role of putting soothing balm on your upset emotions. And what I don't want to do, I don't want to be in the role of rubbing balm on your emotions. I don't want to do that right now. I want you to do that for yourself, and I will do it for myself.
I don't want to do this. I am quitting the interview, and I do not want any of this to be in the fucking video.
Yeah, see, why is this fucking posted? Like, I don't. Mr. Girl claims to have like a ton of empathy for people, but then his girlfriend, like halfway through this fucking interview, says, "I do not want this on the internet. Do not post this." And then he fails on all fronts, and it's up on his channel, still here, 3,500 views, like 35,000. I'm sorry, like. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you post this? This already makes you look like shit, right? Like, I think she mentioned earlier, people were talking about how their relationship was abusive, and and she didn't like that. So obviously, people were already have the preconceived notion that you're fucking abusive towards your girlfriend, and then you post evidence that you're fucking abusive towards your girlfriend, dude. Like, what are you? You can't be that fucking dumb.
Because I'm asking you about sex plans?
Because you are shirking a role that you have agreed to take,
I
I
don't-
believe,
I
throughout
don't-
our relationship.
I
In
don't-
this, stop talking while I'm talking. You have agreed to a role in the past that is assumed you will continue to be in for this conversation as well if we're on camera together. And you can disagree with that. I don't
Every
care.
conversation we have on camera is me trying to get out of this role.
I don't care.
Would you agree with that?
No, I don't.
You don't think every conversation is me saying, like, why can't you just say no or say set your boundaries or just admit to what's happening instead of trying to get me to do it for you? I feel like every conversation we film ends up being about this exact topic of me not wanting to be in this role.
Yeah, and honestly, I can understand the frustration there with him, wanting his girlfriend to just say what she wants, but obviously it's fucking harder for her because she's younger, she doesn't quite understand that, right? It's like, again, bro, you're dating this person, and if you don't like the way they perceive the world and interact with it, then fucking break up with them, because they don't have all the answers, but you obviously desperately want them to, because this person apparently isn't as mature as you, right? Like, so just fucking break up with them. Like, by the way, by bringing up the fact that she's younger, I'm not trying to insinuate that Mr. Girl's a pedo or anything. They're both well above the age of consent, right? It's just like, this person is obviously less mature than Mr. Girl, right? But he continues to, lust after this person. Like, he should obviously just break up with them. Like, and I know that's very fucking gay. Like, when Idubbbz' girlfriend was catching up with Flack, people are claiming he needs to break up with her. I don't agree with that at all, but like, these people just don't seem compatible with each other, like, at fucking all. Like, they seem to hate each other, so like, why don't they break up? They hate each other both sexually and fucking, like, just emotionally.
Yes,
I don't
maybe,
want- I
but
want
I'm
to be a
saying,
default. I
okay,
don't
that's
want-
fine.
okay.
I'm saying you can't escape that
Why?
because you have all the power and I don't agree to it. And
Okay,
you are
so,
trying to
so we
say,
can't have a real conversation.
no, not one that's filmed. You are always in the position of control.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, and you won't let me actually be in control.
No, I'm saying that as a person in control, you also have to be the caretaker to some extent.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's right. Like, it should be 50-50. He can't be 100% in control. And if he does want to be in control, then he does have to caretake. Like, he just wants all the benefits of the relationship without any of the negatives, right? Like, you gotta put in equal effort. Like, this isn't even sexually, this is emotionally. You gotta put in equal effort emotionally.
Yes, I know. You're saying no,
Yes.
and I'm saying yes. We've already been over this.
Okay, so then,
Okay, so that's what I think is happening.
yeah.
On top of that, you are already kind of pushing my boundaries by asking me to do this.
I'm pushing your boundaries
Normally-
by asking you a question. By asking you for something sexual. I'm pushing your boundaries.
No, what you're asking me to do sexually pushes my sexual boundaries.
No, asking you to do something doesn't push your boundaries.
Okay, you can say whatever you want.
Yes,
That's
because
what
you
I
could just
think.
say no.
I understand.
I could ask you if I could
No,
drive a
that's-
Okay, yeah, obviously, but you pretext, you said before you have to have sex with me to keep this relationship going, and now what you're saying is, like, you could just say no at any time, right? Like, obviously, she's gonna be more pushed towards saying yes because you said to continue this relationship, we need to have sex. Like, obviously, she could say no at any point, and I don't think you would violently rape her. But if she, like, she probably has a genuine amount of care for you, and you're throwing that away because she won't have sex with you, and, like, that's kind of the fucked up part. I wouldn't consider that really, like, rape, but it is, like, you need to, like, it's still fucking gross because you're manipulating her.
car up
Okay.
your ass and you could say no or yes. It's not pushing your boundaries to ask you for something.
Okay, you're just not listening.
What do you mean by pushing your boundaries? It's not pushing your boundaries to ask you for something sexual. That's not pushing.
Asking me for something sexual on camera is pushing my boundaries. If I had known you were going to do that, I probably would have addressed that before we fucking got on camera, but I didn't know you were going to do that. You're saying I could just say no, but you don't actually understand because the way that you operate is different from me. And also,
Yeah, you don't say
the way
no.
that the camera affects me, the way that the crowd affects me is very different. I'm not comfortable with that, and you don't care, and you are actively trying to get out of the role of giving a shit about that. And my answer to that is no.
It's not that I don't give a shit.
I understand that you're distinguishing it differently. To me, that is what it translates
I
as.
understand that, but it has to be somebody's responsibility.
That's
For
fine,
you,
I understand.
Your sexual boundaries have to be somebody's responsibility.
Yes,
And you want,
I am
them to, you
saying-
want them to be mine.
When we are on camera,
and want to be-
No, she doesn't. She just wants you to respect hers. Like, it's not that fucking hard, man. She's like, hey, I don't want to talk about sex on camera, and like you post it to fucking 35,000 people, and you're like, well, it's not my problem that you don't want to talk about it on camera. I mean, you're doing it right now. Like, no, dumbass. All you have to do is not post this. It's not like this is a live stream, right? Like, all you have to do is not post this, and then also probably find a new girlfriend because she obviously isn't comfortable with your kink. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
want them to be mine
you're
and not
just-
yours.
Yes, when we're on camera,
Yes, I
to
don't-
some degree, you
I
are also
I don't want to-
agreeing to look out for me. Yes, you are.
Looking
You have
out,
in the past, and you are.
looking out for you is different from being solely responsible
don't think
for your
you're solely
boundaries.
responsible.
Well, then where were you? What have you done for your own boundaries throughout this conversation? Other
This
than-
part.
Okay, so now you're here. Except
She has also asserted that she doesn't like it when you tell her to just lay down and do nothing earlier in the conversation. That was for her sexual boundaries, and you told her, oh, well, how about we do it twice a week? Or no, sorry, once every 2 weeks. Like, or we're gonna break up. Sorry, I got the order of events wrong. You said, hey, if we don't have sex, we're gonna break up. And then we have to do it every 2 weeks. Even though she said she didn't like it very much. Like, dude, how do you not see this? It's so fucking obvious to me.
You're ending the conversation. So again,
Because you told me I could get the fuck out.
yes.
Right. So you threatened me.
I know.
And said if I want fucking boundaries.
It's not threatening you to tell you don't have to talk to me. That's not a threat.
It is a threat.
What is the threat? What am I?
The threat is that you're gonna break up with them and, you know, like, sever, like, emotional ties, right? It's not that hard.
threatening to do?
It's emotionally cutting me off from a project you asked me to be part of because I had some boundaries with you or asked you to
No, you're
be
not,
in a role you have
that's not how
agreed
boundaries
to.
work. You're trying to force me to do something. That's not what a boundary is. A boundary is, hey, babe, I really want to be part of your project. I'm so flattered that you thought that filming this interview would be so nice for your project. But you know what? I don't want to negotiate sex plans with you on camera. So if that's required, I'm going to have to leave the interview if that's the only thing that we can talk about.
See, that was a boundary she set up, and then you posted this anyway because you're a fucking asshole who has no fucking empathy.
So was that your whole plan? Or can we talk about this later? You know, hi guys, we're going to talk about this later. But for right now, I really just want to talk to you about the doll or whatever else you were thinking. But I don't want to do this right now. That would be you setting a boundary. And then if I say, no, I really need to do this, or that's it, that's all I can do, then you would say, oh, well, okay, well, then I
that's
guess I have to
not
leave the
the
interview.
primary
But it's not a
problem
threat.
Yeah, she was actually setting this boundary earlier through a sort of immature, like, not really even immature. She just wasn't expressly saying it. And obviously, Mr. Girl is frustrated she's not expressly saying it. But, like, she's younger than him. So obviously, she's not going to, like, she might not have that skill yet to just expressly come out and be assertive like that. You know, that's probably something that's developing for her. And you're just fucking shitting on her for it. Like, it make.
For me to remind you that you don't have to do anything I tell you. It's not a threat. You're the one saying we have to do the interview.
Okay.
And that we have to do it the way you want.
I understand. You're saying it. I don't think there's a way for you to have me on camera on your channel without doing that.
Okay.
Okay, well, if that's how it is, then I don't see what else there is to talk about.
So
You're still trying to
funny.
pressure me into doing what you want me to do.
Yes,
No.
I want you to do what I
I
fucking
need
said.
you to find a way to negotiate things with me that is not.
Dude, she's fucking crying, man. You can't just, like, take a minute. Like, you can't just, like, stop arguing with her for, like, 2 seconds. Like, I know sometimes people, like, you know, sort of cry to, like, manipulate people. But, like, she's genuinely crying because you're being a fucking dick. Like, it's not, like, you know? Like, she has a justified reason to be crying right now. And you're continuing to be a fucking asshole, you know?
You trying to manipulate or pressure me into doing things that you want me to do. We've already defined this entire conversation as out of bounds, but you didn't mean that. Or you did mean it for a second, but now you've taken it back. And it's like all over. I never know what I'm allowed to be doing, or what I'm allowed to be saying, or if I'm allowed to be fucking raping you while you lie face down quietly, or if I'm not allowed to do it. And that's the whole point, is that every time we fuck, I don't know if I'm actually allowed to be fucking you. I don't know if I'm supposed to be fucking you. And I need to feel like I'm allowed to do it. I'm supposed to do it. You can cry. You got some extra leather left over from your projects. Make yourself a little bit to bite down on, and you can fucking deal with it. I want to know that whatever you feel while I'm fucking you is your problem.
I know.
Okay. And same with this conversation.
I don't want to make agreements about our sex life on camera
Or off camera.
or off camera.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay. So are you rescinding our agreement?
Yeah, see, that's perfectly reasonable because it puts her in an uncomfortable position, potentially, you know? Like, it's a very simple concept, man. Mr. Girl's a smart guy, but he doesn't get this somehow.
I rescind. Well, I don't know. I
Right.
don't.
You like having a semi-agreement. You don't even want to agree that we don't have an agreement. Do you see how that leaves me feeling like I don't know where I stand with you?
I
Do
do.
you know how-
I truly
do you know how
understand. I'm sure it's
pathetic-
really fun. Stop. Stop.
Do you know how pathetic it is? No, I'm allowed to do this. This I'm allowed to do.
I'm not saying you're not allowed. I just want you to stop.
And you can't stop me.
I know.
Only Renee can stop
I'm
me, and
just mad at
she
you.
can't move or talk.
I know.
Do you know how pathetic it makes me feel and emasculated? That I don't get to know if I'm allowed to be in this conversation, if I'm allowed to be making this movie.
See, it makes him feel emasculated because he has to fucking, like, take into consideration his partner, you know, like, he has to take into consideration, you know, when his partner wants to sleep with him, and that makes him feel emasculated, dude. Like, what is this shit, man? Like, shut up.
If I'm allowed to do anything except fuck this corpse.
Yes, I understand.
Shit, I mean to do
I
that.
truly understand. You can clearly see, I think, that I want to provide this for you.
You have to.
She has to, or he's gonna break up with her. See, that's just like a fucked up thing to say, man. Like, you should break up with her. That's what should happen if you're not satisfied. You shouldn't be attempting to force her into doing whatever you want her to do.
You have
Again,
to.
you didn't say no.
You
didn't.
have to.
I don't have to.
I need it.
I know.
I need you.
I know.
I need you.
Even just the way you're framing it
I
makes
need
it
you.
feel rapey.
It is. That's
Well,
the problem with
sucks.
it. That's the problem.
I need my sexual fantasy and I need you. Really, dude. Okay. Find somebody else you're attracted to and who will carry out this fantasy for you. Stop, just stop this. I'm fucking dumb.
It sucks because
It sucks.
I don't do this to you. I don't think.
That's funny. That's rich. I can be warm to you. If you can be vulnerable in a way that is not making me into the bad guy. But if you start throwing me under the bus and you start making me out to be the abusive psycho, I am going to get very defensive.
Yeah, she's done literally everything but that in this conversation. Actually, saying, "Oh, well, I don't want people to think our relationship is abusive. You make me happy." Like, she's, well, you're pulling this like from the deepest crevice of your rectum. I don't. It's crazy.
Can we agree to that?
I don't know. I mean, the problem is that you are making me out to be an abusive psycho. I was
are.
not calling you out for anything. I was asking you for fucking clarification.
When things
It
get
is
more
abusive
explicit,
of you to do
no,
that.
it's not abusive for me to call you abusive, you fucking monster. I'm asking you. The way you call,
No,
the way
it's
you
not
make
what I
people, you make people.
It can definitely be abusive for a partner to call them abusive. Like, if you like through gaslighting, like, right? I'm not expressing this thought correctly. If I convince my partner that they are abusive while I'm actually abusive, that is an abusive act because I am gaslighting them into thinking that they are the abusive one. When in reality, I can just do whatever the fuck I want, right? Like, that's, yeah.
People think I'm abusive without saying the word abusive or by doing anything explicit. It's a very subtle throwing under the bus, but it's happening. And I know it's happening.
I can't listen to you. I need to take a break.
Okay, do you want to play Smash?
No, I just want to be alone.
Okay.
Okay, I don't want to watch this part because she goes away and cries, and then Mr. Girl just sits here. Here, we'll play a tiny bit. He just sits here and fucking. He's laughing, not crying. He's laughing at her crying, and then near the end, she comes back.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he plays this weird ass music, and look, he's comforting her. That totally makes up for everything that just happened. Yeah, I don't fucking buy it. I wouldn't consider this rape really, but it's definitely like manipulative and like gross. And Mr. Girl, it's fucking gross to see, man. Like, I don't know. This doesn't make you look good. She asked you not to post it. Why did you post this? Like, I don't. How dumb can you fucking be, man? Like, I'm unironically starting to think you're the next Amos Yee. I think you're gonna like. This is a dark path, man. Like, at this point, I literally wouldn't be surprised if you actually raped someone. Like, Amos Yee, it wasn't. He defended child predators like mad hard, and then he turned out to be a child predator, right? And I guess you're not really even defending rapists, but you're saying, hey, I need to fill out this rape fantasy or I'm gonna break up with you, and like you can't even enjoy it. Like, I don't know. And closing thoughts, man. Like, I saw Papa Gut had a take where he was talking about how he doesn't want her to enjoy it at all. And like, I think what he was saying there with like he needs to enjoy it 100% is like he doesn't want to take into consideration her fantasies at all, like he only wants to consider what he wants and doesn't want to consider what his partner wants, obviously. And if he considers what his partners want, that like ruins it for him. So I mean, like, I don't know, man. It's just weird as fuck. And I hope Mr. Girl like sees like breaks up with his girlfriend and goes find someone who will carry this out for him, man. All right, sheet, man.